Good morning, all. Um, I bring greetings for all my friends in Madras from chaotic Delhi. It was a struggle to pull some greetings out of Delhi because it's not easy. Not at all easy. This morning, I had a wonderful experience. That I got up in the morning and fairly tensed up, like I was on the eve of my first test in Calcutta. And I found in the room there was rubber all over the place. And I couldn't figure out. I thought, how could a rat have been in this room? And I struggled. I picked up some pieces of rubber. And I had a look at my shoe. And the sole had gone completely. Then I wondered, would 3 drinks of Red Label have the same kind of effect on the sole of my shoe? And I had to look at it and I said, oh, how am I going to manage this? Because last night we were talking about the outfit, what I have to wear, but I cannot come in slippers. So this morning I went, took a cab, looked around, and the lesson which I learned was never, when you are out of your home or your city, never carry the pair of shoes as old as yourself. So that's a wonderful lesson, really. But fortunately for me, there was one shop open. And I said, do you have size 10? I showed him a few. He said, no, we don't have. I said, all right, pull out one, please, for me. I need it very urgently. And he managed. I was ever so grateful. Then he looked at me and he said, where are you from? I said, why do you want to know that? He said, no, you look a bit out of place, out of sorts. I said, I am. Because I don't know what I'm going to do without the shoes. Anyway, he was very kind. And he says, come again. I said, I hope not. Because I'll be better prepared next time. I'm grateful to the foundation, Palkewala Foundation, for having invited me here. In fact, this invitation came about 2 months earlier. This is it's just about a time when a lot of rubbish was being floated around in the name of cricket, when the match fixing, spot fixing, and various other things connected with the IPL, they took place. And Mr. Anand, he rang me up and he says, we want you to talk about it. I said, why me? He said, no, you're the only one who will call a spade a shovel. I said, but do we need that? He said, yes. So I said, okay, we finalized the date and everything. And in between, India wins the Champions Trophy in England. And day before yesterday, they beat Sri Lanka and Trinidad. And Mr. Anand, I think he had reason to develop cold feet. So he said, should we change the subject? I said, how will it help Indian cricket? Because the problems remain despite the team winning. And I have always believed that whatever good which happens in Indian cricket happens by sheer providence. And I'm convinced, honestly, because we don't have any strategy as such, any planning, which will throw up a champion like Gavaskar or Kapil Dev or Vishwanath, Bhagat Chandrasekhar, and Rapli Prasanna. No, it just happens because the passion of this game amongst the youngsters, the passion of this game amongst the cricket followers is quite unreal. And only yesterday I was reading a comment from the legendary Milkha Singh, talking about this Bhag, Milkha Bhag. And he says, he blames media and cricket for not promoting other sports. And he was very sore, very bitter, that in the print media and in the electronic media, cricket is being sold 24/7. And nobody bothers about what happens to Milkha Singh when he is vomiting blood while training. So I think we'll all see it sooner or later what he all meant. But there is a fair amount of grudge amongst sports people of other discipline that cricket is taking a lot of mileage. Now, how do you account for it? If cricket is popular, now you can't. No, we are struggling to sell soap. You start selling soap, please. If something is good and popular and in demand, so what is wrong with it? But it is very difficult to convince a hockey player or an athlete or a badminton player or tennis player or a golfer for that matter that we all have an opportunity, we all have a reasonable access to a place in the sun. If Milkha Singh is playing outstanding golf, the father is not complaining. But now nobody knows. The Jeev Milkha Singh perhaps is making more money from golf than Dhoni can ever imagine from cricket, even if he becomes the president of India Cements. Well, cricket is popular, we all know, and cricket is sold well. And in the present context, perhaps oversold. Then we come to a platform where we have to define ourselves. Now look, I am not talking cricket primarily because I'm a cricketer or talking about myself, no. I hope I'm discussing some cricketing philosophy. Because for me, cricket was more than just a sport. It was a way of life. So I may have to ask all of you here that the difference between sin and crime. We all may have sinned 1,000,000 times. But we're not criminals for the simple reason we are here nice and free. If we were criminals, we'd somewhere in Tihar. Or, I don't know what was the equivalent of Tihar in Madras. Sorry? Okay, thank you. I'm learning. Sin is a thought which occurs in your mind. And crime is implementing the thought. Now, if today we find cricket and criminals, chuckers and match fixers and bookies, and the franchises, some of them, are going hand in hand. There's nothing surprising about it. Because cricket, to my mind, is the only sport which reflects the times we live in. And if a political scenario is so deplorable, so depressing, see, we have quite a few test centers in the country, but there's only one parliament in Delhi, where they are now trying to introduce some kind of legislation to keep criminals at bay. I don't know how they'll manage. The sports ministry was very, very keen to bring the BCCI under the RTI. But when the same RTI was implemented on the political parties, they all revolted. So, can you possibly have your cake and eat it too? So this is where the cookie crumbles. If in cricket, some of the BCCI officials, well, BCCI officials become prominent because all the top heads of various associations, they come and attend. They comprise the BCCI. So BCCI comes in focus straight away. We don't bother, honestly, we don't know how DDC is being run. We don't know how Punjab Cricket Association is being run, or Rajasthan, or Jammu and Kashmir, or Bombay Cricket Association. We have no idea. I'm talking purely as a student of the game, because an average cricket follower, I'm talking in the modern context, they want to come to the ground at Chipok or in Chinnaswamy Stadium or in Kotla. My observation is that they are not coming to see the game. They're coming to be seen that they were there. Now that there are so many cameras all over the place, so there are chances that sooner or later some camera will focus on you. So you do something outrageous to be noticed. Anand mentioned my son's name, Angad. He was, I think about 12, 13 years ago. He came and asked me, he said, Dad, when you and Chandra uncle and Rash uncle, whenever you got a man out, weren't you thrilled? I said, why? Why do you ask this question? He said, but you're pretty listless. You're not making a show of it. I said, listen, what show did we have to make? Our job was to get wickets, and whenever we got a wicket, that's it, we were grateful. No, but look at Bhaji, look at it. Look what he's doing there. I said, yes, he's surprised how he got it. No, but, no, this is modern. This is where I feel the game might have changed. But otherwise, if you look at it purely from a cricketing angle, I'd like to ask all of you sitting in this hall, is the length of the pitch 22 yards, has it changed since last 150 years? No. Height of the stumps, 28 inches, has it changed in the last 100 odd years? Or the width of the stumps, 9 inches? The bowling greens, 4 feet is your batting thing. It's still the same. The weight of the ball is still the same. The width of the bat is still the same. So what has changed?
Weight of the bat.
Sorry?
Weight of the bat.
Yeah, but I mean the weight of the bat is changed. The bat itself is, in any way, is not become 10 inches wider.
But Dhoni batted.
Dhoni.
Dhoni batted with a very heavy bat.
Heavy
yesterday.
bat.
Sorry?
Dhoni batted with a very heavy bat 2 days.
Yeah, well, heavy bats are now, you see, you can have heavy bat. Now, you can say equipment in tennis has also changed a lot. So has the equipment in hockey and in golf. So it is for the better performances. The weight of the ball is still the same. So what has really changed? We have changed. The change is in the producers, the directors, and the actors. That is where the change is. And of course, the tamasha is, as I mentioned earlier, they come to be seen. For example, Devu, yesterday I was watching, I'm quite a regular viewer of a program from Amritsar. It shows morning rituals from Golden Temple. And there was this Deputy Chief Minister of Punjab, Sukhbir Singh Badal, with his entire jingmang of security staff. And you would imagine that you come to a religious place, a worshipping place, to worship, to bow before the Holy Granth. And here was a man who was enjoying the glory of being